morning, Otters. Today is Monday the 1st of March. I hope you've all had a lovely and restful weekend. We are finally in the last week of home learning, okay, so we've got 5 days left to go. Keep working just as hard as you have been, okay, and I think this week will fly by. Just a quick run through of the timetable. So, first off, you've got some guided reading, and our guided reading texts this week are all to do with Greece and ancient Greece. And this is quite an interesting topic. We will be looking at it later on in the year, so it's a good chance to do a bit of background reading for it before we start learning about it in topic. After guided reading, you're going to be practicing your spellings, okay? Just make sure you're ready for your test this week, alright? Keep practicing. You want to try and beat your score from last week. Don't worry if you don't get 10 out of 10, but if you got 6 last week, try and get 7 this week, and so on. After practicing your spellings, you're moving on to writing, so we're still working on that discussion text, okay? You should have learnt the story map by now with actions. If for whatever reason you're not quite sure of it, or there's always a sentence that you keep forgetting, you can always go back to the story map videos. So there's one of me reading it out whilst pointing to the story map, and there is one of Mrs. Whiteman doing the actions that you might want to magpie. The more you know that story map, the easier it's going to be to write, because then you know the structure of the text and you know some really good vocab that you could magpie in your own writing, okay? After writing, you can have a break before moving on to maths. In maths this week, we're going to be moving on to statistics, so it's just a week of statistics, and you'll have done a lot of this before, so tally charts, tables, bar charts and things like that, so it should all be relatively familiar to you. Make sure though, if you are drawing a bar chart, if you have the equipment at home, make sure you use a ruler, okay? It just makes life a lot easier, and it's much easier to read it if it's drawn neatly and straight with a ruler. After maths, you're going to do some reading, and I know I've been saying this pretty much every day since Christmas, but make sure you're doing the quizzes at home as well, please, okay? It just means you can move up those book levels nice and swiftly, ready for when we get back to school. After reading, you're going to have some lunch before going on to TT Rockstars, and again, same with TT Rockstars, the harder you try now, the more you practice, the easier you're going to find it in school. Okay, we're going to carry on doing our times table tests on a Friday when you're back in school, so if you want to move up that times table ladder, now is your time to practice, okay? This afternoon, as always, you've got a choice between science and topic. It is the end of both of those units of work, so just make sure, I don't mind which one you do, just make sure you get in a really good place to end the unit, okay? So you may have missed a science along the way, so you might be a lesson behind, or you may have missed a topic. Just choose one or the other, okay, to make sure it's completely finished for when you get back to school. As always, if you have time, you can do both. I don't mind. If you might have some other lessons to catch up, so you might want to do 2 sciences, so then you finish the science unit. I don't really mind. And then you're going to finish off the day with the class story, okay? Just a quick thank you to everybody that's been coming to the morning Zoom register. Okay, so you're not actually going to be watching me right now, which is fine. Keep up the good work, guys, all right? 5 days left, one of which is World Book Day, so it's quite a nice week. And I will see you next Monday.